Good day, everybody. Brian here once again, July 11th. Okay, so if you've been watching along for the last couple of weeks and most of my programming, C++, high paying, high frequency trading jobs and hedge funds and whatnot, this video pretty well for today confirms all that I've been saying and anything else that's being said uh, and you're paying for, I think really won't help you. I do a lot more than that, and to waste your money on all these uh, leak code and all that, you're basically being naturally gifted. I'm going to show you how these firms work. I'll show you how to apply, what they're looking for, and all that. So essentially, if you're in the world of trading with the oncoming onslaught of AI, I hate to tell you, I think your job is going to be in less demand unless you're a very senior uh, level trader or trading desk head that can show some form of third party verified track record, because it's no longer going to be cutting it with this kind of pay and this kind of cutthroat competition for the top of the top. I think this firm is the next generation uh, after Rentec because of their pay. Let me just show you here what I want to show you here. Once upon a time, when Jim Simons ran his firm, he wanted to make sure he had the highest paying jobs. These are really good pay, believe me. But you can see here, these are Rentec career jobs. So let's say research infrastructure programmer. We have talked about how very little job descriptions there are. The pay is 157 to 186, and that's US. And again, I've highlighted the compiler version 11, 14, 17. They're not quite yet moving um, into 20. Linux, Unix environments only, no Windows, sorry. Programming, and it's very vague. Um, so there's the high paying in 186 plus uh, the pay. So you would think maybe a real time programmer might be more valuable. Again, very little information, 191. So not the best paying versus this new firm. So along comes this new firm here, paying 5 times more than Jane Street in London. Now, if you're looking for where to go to get hired, um, from what I'm seeing and what I've talked to people about, London, UK is pretty well highest paying for these type of jobs. Um, I'll be going there probably in the next few months, maybe in the next month. I don't know yet. I'll be spending quite a bit of time there. Just on a personal note, I will be in anticipation of relocating to the UK where I'm born. Toronto has just gone deteriorated so fast, but I'm not going to get in the political landscape here. But the same could be said for UK. But other than that, I'll just leave it at that for now. But I do think London, UK is definitely the highest paying. Look at this. So this firm Quadrature, London-based automated trading firm. It's really an AI firm that really dumbs down the firm. It's really AI driven. We've gone over the AI and how it's important. This is the important one. So Jane Street, which is probably the highest paying out there, this is now 2022, 615,000 pounds, which translates to 789 average. Average. That's insane. Salaries and wages. That's probably obviously including top compensation. So 789K for Jane Street. So along comes this firm, 98 staff. Wow, wow, wow. I misread this. I didn't now I'm seeing it. 3.6 million pounds per head. Wow, that is insane. That is probably getting up there into the athletes world. That is amazing. In 2023, Quadrature's headcount rose to a 113, pay fell but it was still paying 3 million on average. That difference there between the point 0.6 pounds and the it's probably going to translate over 1 million US. Jane Street is particularly impressive for entry level talent, but Quadrature seems to be able to compete here too. So remember what I showed you on the salaries on Rentec? They're going to have to level up if they want to get these kind of people. So levels, FYI data suggests that Quadrature's UK interns earn 20K a month, which makes them the highest paid interns in finance outside the US. And generally, you're at probably the highest paid interns in the world. That's insane. So that's why people are watching these videos now. Like I'm getting views into my little pathetic YouTube channel into the couple hundreds per video on these exact topics. So these are the impressive people they've been hiring. So Quadrature, who's an executive, hires this guy, Richard Blastland, CFO, previously a managing director and head of non-markets product control at Barclays. So they're opening up an office in Singapore and New York, meaning that obviously they're expanding, not in the US, but includes some. So these are the big names now we've got. So this Simon Thornington was vice president 5.5 years ago at Quant from Two Sigma. I remember in my physical meetups I've done over the years that Two Sigma and Jump Technologies were the hot thing in New York for HFT firms. So now this firm here, Quadrature, uh, is the absolute highest, paying 3 million pounds. That's insane. Anyway, so that's one of the hires as a quant developer this month. So he's been relegated to just a uh, uh, a quant developer. Oh, but for the money, I'm sure he took it. William Levine, New York HFT production lead at Citadel, joined in May as a systems engineer. So these guys, engineering leads at Citadel, are being quote demoted to just being a system engineer and a quant developer. I hope those facts are true, but for those pay scales, I'd be cleaning the floors. I'd be cleaning the toilets for that kind of pay scale, if you ask me. It's like it's like a dream seeing that kind of pay. Okay, so here we go. So what's it like to work here? Will Wilson, co-founder of tech and quant recruiting from Stride. So that's who you hit up, folks. Stride, the recruitment firm, said in a Quora a few years ago that the firm has made a big point of not hiring those with big egos, no matter how talented. That's good to know. Yo, hire me. I'll clean the toilets. That's how much of a no ego I have. Co-founders. So here are the guys in charge: Sunil Satia, Greg Skinner set up a foundation fighting climate change in 2019. So we'll go over that in a minute. One of them was once spied eyeing a $153 million apartment in London. Wow. I remember Ken Griffin bought some big fancy place. I think it was a building, Citadel in London as well. So the egos probably seeing. I've been watching again the Jim Simons interviews as well. I think he's got an ego, but he's very subtle about it. So that there's that going on. So here are some of the benefits. Bar has so I don't understand what this means. Says that the bar of technical has never been lowered. So that means you have no capabilities. You have a chance of getting hired while he was in contract with them. Um, okay. So they include, wow, yoga classes and ski trips. We know that's going to be in Switzerland. I'm sure they bring in, as it says here, guest lecturers, robot building competitions. So you gotta be into the maker thing, right? So this love. So okay, so I'm sure a lot of people, and I'll show you. It looks pretty cool there. Looks really sweet actually. 4.9 out of 5 on Glassdoor. Friendly, low ego environment. One review states that the firm's rate of expansion has made the onboarding of new seem less seamless than the past. So of course, Quadrature never returns any any comment. So let's see what the firm's all about. So here it is, Quadrature. Here's their offices. Looks like they have a mini forest in the building. I did check the building. It's quite modern, it looks like, working here. Let's see. So they have London. I mean, this looks stunning. Like I've never worked. Look, you got gym, you got the yoga, blah 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 blah. Got painting. I mean, this is crazy, man. But it's obviously geared towards younger people, I would think. Let's see what the Singapore office is like. Like I've never in my life, out of my corporate work life, 10 years and doing schlep jobs on top of that, have ever seen anything like this. It's unreal. Anyways, let's continue here. So here's what I did on good old Google. Quadrature jobs C++. This is a C++ shop. Okay. So this is what I came up with. So there's two things, the org.com or greenhouse.io for their jobs. So let me show you how it works. Okay, Quant developer. So all you do is you apply, right? And you're going to be sending it to this guy. Okay, so that I've said that before um, on how smart they are, right? Like not just smart, but brilliant. So they've been very vague in what they're looking for, and no different than I've shown you on Rentech, Renaissance Technologies. So you're now just applying as a quant developer. Um, so you got to do very vague, interesting, challenging, opportunity, real impact, a variety of tasks, different people, new systems, technology, blah 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 blah. Everyone's encouraged to try new things, spot opportunity. So you're going to be analyzing tick data to produce models, estimate market, and evaluate slippage, implementation, shortfall of our trading. So I've talked about that before about ticker plans. KDB is a good example of that as well with the KX plus. Improving the accuracy of the trading simulator, analyzing differences to actual trading, and working to improve the correlation. So they're somehow built around correlations, a big one, as one of the strategies probably they're working on. Um, and obviously, I wouldn't be surprised it's going to be their futures or options market, maybe in the crypto space. There's very little volume compared to forex and commodity and probably stocks indices as well. That's what I'm assuming. Uh, Extremely high performing, highly reliable, and finely tuned numeric computational programs and implementing such models, algos in Python and C++. That's the key right there. I've talked about the different technologies, the languages needed. So this is a modern day, very high paying firm paying for those two skills. That's what you focus on and be a master at it and be top game at it. I don't know how much more I can explain it as I've done in many other videos. I am breaking it down for you. So, one thing I want to highlight here is how do I know they're an AI firm? Look at the domain right there. It's not like quadrature.com or net, it's .ai. So that's how they perceive themselves, which is fine. So that's the new modern way of doing things in uh in the world of high frequency trading, doing it the cool way. You saw some of the office photos. It looks pretty sweet. Um, and again, with the machine learning. So here's the other thing that a lot of people, I'm sure, as I said, they've developed their own technologies, their own libraries, the whole 9 years. I've seen it done over the years. So developing visualization, other analytics for live and experimental trading. So they're probably doing it through Python, uh, sorry, Jupyter notebooks and the like, um, in real in real time. You can do it in MATLAB. I've probably shown old videos on that, but they're probably doing it using probably some form of C++, graphic, um, library, built it, and simulation, and then layered Python interfaces on top of that. So they're a little more specific here, which is quite interesting. Improve system component performance by redefining underlying algos, methods of processing, and identifying bottlenecks. So here, underlying algorithms, obviously that's going to be right across the board in their enterprise. Method of processing. So that's where you're going to be looking at the code and how they process it to optimize it. In that one video I've shown on that research paper, there's a utilities used to do that in C++, the Google benchmark as one example, and system bottlenecks. Again, that's where probably the network getting yeah, like bottlenecks and whatnot in the network where things lag or things need to be improved on the amount of bits per second on the network throughput, because everything is about throughput. So utilizing modern statistical machine learning methods. Now, here is the interesting part, to use the word modern. Statistical machine learning methods, which I'm sure we all know about the popular ones, to develop systematic trading models, algos by investigating vast quantities of data to implement these in both C++ and Python. I've said that before. This is how you get now from the 600,000 to 3 million plus pounds, folks. That is amazing. Contributing to design, development, or high performance distributed systems that enable global trading and multiple petabyte. Wow, petabyte data. I've never seen petabyte like that. That's pretty impressive. So you know what they're looking for. Very vague. They don't give you the specifics. By working in a variety of areas, it's a unique opportunity to build a holistic understanding of what we'll do. So that's very interesting. You come in as a quant developer, possibly making millions as a pay package. That's pretty impressive. Prioritize, sweat the details, and build things to last. In terms of our tech stack, we work with Python, C++ on a day-to-day basis. Just reinforces what I've been saying over the last bunch of videos. Ability to program high level is important as it allows people to develop and test their ideas independently. However, we welcome individuals who have programmed in different languages and who have come from a wide range of experience. You do not need experience in finance or expertise in specific technologies. So quite possibly what they're doing here as a smokescreen, saying this is what we want to focus on. This is what we're looking for in terms of experience. But to go from the quant developer into quant research, you're probably going to have a physics or a astronomy PhD level background, just to say, but they're not going to say it here. Like our founders, members of the quant developer team have developed technical backgrounds and all bringing unique perspectives that will make our work better. Attitudes, mindsets are important to us, and we're looking for self starters. So this is what matters. You have to be a self starter, meaning you have to showcase what I've said before. Your GitHub has to have your own coding, nothing forked, and then you modify it here and there in a little bit. I think the one from the Quant Messiah, I'm not gonna say his name. His last video kind of showcased that with one of his clients, and the guy was good. He did a lot to show initiative on his GitHub, and it's pretty impressive. So go check out the guy's the client and check out it is pretty impressive. Can't deny that. What unites our quant developer team is a passion in what they do and curiosity drive to make things better. If this sounds like you, you'll be in good company. So again, everything's not about forking, copying, and then pasting it into something that you did. You ain't gonna pass very. You're not gonna get very far. I've said this time and time again. I'm not gonna go on about it. So they have their little org chart. So they have probably a massive quant developer, and then you get dispersed into the different coding teams when you apply. So okay, so I'm sure there's a lot of these AI firms, but the source that I have will send me the top of the top, best of the best stuff. And this is one of the examples just on the pay scale is just mind blowing. Like we're getting now into not just million, but we're getting into 2, 3 million plus that on average. Wow, it's beyond amazing. Okay, so in here, if you go into back into the company, here you have working here. So you only have really, oh sorry, careers. You only have two ways to get in: how we hire. So part of this you have to understand here. Um, so here you go: phone interview, on-site interview, final. So I like the transparency here a little more. So everything's done in the UK. Um, Happy to fly people for interviews. So that's what very typical. So you send in your resume, as I've shown you, high number of applications, but we aim to get back to people within 48 hours. So if you're good, I wouldn't be surprised getting thousands of resumes a day, probably per week at least. They probably have some AI thing going through all those resumes to see if you get screened or not. So within 48 hours. And they seem to be hiring, as I said with that article, that they are expanding both into the US and probably Singapore as well. Why those places? Because that's where their client, that's where their investment money is going to be in these big financial centers. And I do think New York, London, obviously Singapore, but don't be surprised if you see Hong Kong in there one day, maybe the Mid East, like in the UAE. That's where the money's, and they got to be close to that investment money to build up this firm. Uh, because if they're going to pay that kind of money, they got to get the top of the top and have the best returns for those investors. Now, I don't know if they're doing it all internally and they have no external investors. I don't know. I don't know how the fund works, but we could find out. Be interesting. So from the tech side for the interview, you get your phone interview, probably with some general HR person, just to do a soft overview of who you are and your experience right here, aspirations and your interests. So you got to show, obviously, and do as much research as you can on the firm. Very important to get past this. Usually that's not hard to do if you're really good and knowing what you need to figure out. Then you get the on site. So this is the big one. Here you get invited to the London morning or afternoon face to face interview. You meet 2 to 3 people. Usually, I hate saying this, but it's going to be usually interns, junior people from the team to work through technical or case study questions. You know, the regular drill. Yes, this is where the leak code is going to help you out. You'll work with your interview to solve these problems. I don't know if they'll do a whiteboard. They are there to guide and brainstorm with you. So if you get into these websites that will help get you through the technical questions, I don't know if you need to do that. If you're coming out of an Ivy League school with a lot of good experience, you shouldn't need that guidance. And those are the kind of people they want. They don't want people that are like, I don't want to use the word, we'll just call them robots, the scripted robots that just memorize stuff and pretend and just take a bunch of memorize like 100 questions in an interview, a technical interview. They're not going to most likely have similar questions. They want to ensure that you're naturally gifted to cover these kind of areas on what they're going to ask you. It could be anything, but again, those sources, leak code, and all that, that's up to them. They'll give you an idea what they are, but you're not going to get the exact types of questions covered. I think you would, if you were good at what you're doing, you don't need that. You would be naturally gifted enough, and you'd be naturally experienced enough to handle those kind of questions, technical problems, and so forth. When I did my early days in C I spent about 2 3 years knowing C back in the early '80s on my own, and I learned that Kerningham and Ritchie library inside out, and I could live and breathe it and answer any question right down to the bitwise operators. I was that good, and I could handle and breeze through any interview that was thrown at me. I'm not saying I'm naturally gifted in C, but at the time I was, and I was able to get a lot of good interviews and get okay jobs. We didn't have the internet back then to research stuff like what the youngins have today to research this and that and review the company, review the pay scale. We didn't have any of that sort of stuff back in my time. This is the old man giving you all that experience. But to learn C at the level I did, I was very happy to do that. There was no libraries except the Kerningham and Ritchie library. That was it. The only one library, and there's nothing else to distract you on knowing that stuff. But as I said, you got to naturally be gifted in that to get past these interviews. And you shouldn't have to prep if you're that good. But here, as you said, they don't want the egomaniacs to step into these companies. If you're cool, humble, willing to do the work, willing to clean the toilets, that sort of thing, then you're going to be making a lot of money here, as I said. Okay, we won't ask you to interview with us for weeks on end, but if you do come to our office, expect 2 to 3 rounds of on-site interviews. So if you're visiting there, I'm sure they'll probably put it over the next few days or a week, or I don't know how they'll do it. But if they're paying for a flight, I'm sure they're going to get it all put into a very short, concise rounds of interviews within I'm assuming a few days. Oh, and there's more interviews. Okay. So again, when I said that they will be putting you through the what's the one the grinder on the tech side and the math side and the problem solving side, then you get to meet the higher ups. First round go well. So again, you're going to be meeting with the juniors. I'm not going to call people like this schleps. These are not schleps. Let's put it that way. These are not clerks in law firms. These are very highly talented people that you'll interview with. But from the company's perspective, they'll be, dare I say, junior, making a lot of money, but they're still pretty brilliant at what they do. So you'll be invited to meet more people, ending with Aiden, our CEO. Okay, so the Aiden guy and the higher ups, your leak code is not going to help you. I'm sure these guys are brilliant in their own way with the probably decades of experience behind them. You won't be able to fool the higher ups. You'll have an experience doing all the interviews, but again, you got to be naturally gifted to get to this level and to show why you deserve to be in Quadrature. We've already covered, I cannot stress this. We have already covered you got to be a self starter right here, self starter. People may not pay attention to that, but if you don't have the initiative, you don't have the drive to showcase that of your online presence by projects that you created, not forked, but you created. You got your track record there for trading. You've got your amazing platform that you may have built from ground up and other projects. This is the guy you got to blow his mind. If you can do that, you well deserve your millions of dollars in package for this. While some interviews may have technical elements, there's nothing you need to prepare unless specifically asked to. Just try to relax and be yourself. Again, this is why you'll be meeting the leaders of our business. So try to bring up some questions too. So this right here, this paragraph says it all. I mean, you can get past all your memorized interviews, all your memorized questions when it comes to math, computer science, and all that, and trading, I might add. And trading. If you don't show the trading side and you've proven that you are a rock solid trader, as I said, you're not going to be considered getting into this final round. That's why they say they want you to be yourself, not be some coding robot, scripted robot that just, yes, sir, quadratic, none of that. It's just you are who you are. You're relaxed. You're not going to be nervous. You're in control of all your emotions, and you're the master of your own domain based on your experience to get into this field. And this is just no different than any other firm, unless you're going to be working in some kind of garage, tend to want to be Quant operation, not trying to put them down. But if you want your millions of dollars, this is what you got to do. So there's that. So I've also put in here, um, as I said, it's not vague, but it's vague enough. You kind of have an idea what they're kind of doing. So the interesting thing is, do they take? Okay, so let's start from the top about the firm itself. We're building the automated trading business. So AI driven, obviously founded by programmers from 2010. So again, you're going to be meeting with programmers. The founders are programmers. So you got to be making sure you're really, really good. Again, kind, friendly, talented pool of people. That's true. But back in their mind, they're going to be really, really intelligent. And to impress people like that, it takes a lot. And you have to be naturally gifted. It's not possible. Okay, so they're market neutral market makers, securities global, taking both long positions based on predictions made by statistical models fed by market data and other data. So that right there is saying what they are. They trade all liquid, electronically tradable asset class across all horizons to generate consistent, significant returns on our proprietary capital. That, my friends, tells you they put out a lot of capital. They're probably funded somewhere, somehow, I don't know, to be able to pay the millions of dollars that they do. But they must be pretty good at what they do. And it's a proprietary shop because it's proprietary capital. So there's no investors here publicly listed. They're not, I mean, maybe they just go out. I don't know. So again, the offices look pretty good. Um, Evolution is constant. We're trying to move forward. I mean, this is a pretty interesting company. Kind of slowly building and nourishing a strong culture that promotes learning, creativity, kindness, mutual trust and respect. Okay. I mean, it looks pretty amazing in terms of what's out there. So they have a foundation. Uh, it's all about, I guess, natural human world, blah blah blah, as well. Um, okay. Okay, so that says it right there. So that's why you're not seeing a lot of mention about. So they have this vision, um, modular components shared, trading strategies possible to maximize impact, highly automated. So it's probably fully automated. Creative tax, working collaboratively. Um, I just hope that they perform well. I really do. This sounds like a really company. Anyways, I don't want to get into this, but we've kind of covered what kind of firm they are, and all this stuff, other you know stuff, good feel kind of qualities, I guess. Anyways, there's that about this firm. Very high paying, by the highest out there in the industry. So let's go back to what I do. Okay, so that's going to be like trying to win a lottery. Let's face it, and to be naturally gifted and all that. The solution to what I'm trying to do is at the website quantlabsnet.com, really new domain. Under book online, we've got a video that I put out just yesterday. Automated trading revolution, seize the market opportunities with no coding required. So when I say that, what I'm meaning, when you come under the book online, quantlabsnet.com, what I'm speaking of here is if you want to set up your own equivalent, as they call it, automated trading business. We're talking the same thing. They want to do the ultimate. They've got the funds to do it. They got the resources as well. Good on them. But it's very difficult to do that. And again, that concept came from Dr. Ernie Chan in his book in 2008. So here, the auto trading discovery call will walk you through where you don't have to have any technical knowledge, no coding knowledge needed. And this is all built off of TradingView. TradingView is easily the number one trading platform pretty well on the planet. It's got probably the most popular community out there for traders from a social media perspective. And with that, there is a third party service out there to set up auto trading with TradingView. In that, you just go book now here, and then we will go through what your goals are, what you're trying to do for 45 minutes at 47 bucks. From there, I can set up and build out a solution for you. And then it's 100% 24/7, 100% 24/7 system that does not close at all outside of the assets you're trading. So if you're trading New York Time ETFs and stocks, there is a crypto with Coinbase, let's say 24/7. So this is very possible. It's very flawless. It does not disconnect. I've run this for 2 months. It's nothing else I've seen. So as I said, you can go down the hard path or the easy path. This is the easy path, especially if you're not trading. There are two options here. You can go into, as I said, into the book online, click on that, go through this on the scheduling front, go through the next, pay again, 47 bucks to talk to me one on one. I don't know if I can do this forever. I don't know. Depends upon how what it involves and if people actually want to go to the next step. That's what this is about. The next thing, if you want to just follow along, go under the Learn tab here at quantlabsnet.com and follow and sign up here. Okay, in there, and then we will send out automated emails to you on what things are about and what I'm doing. I'm moving everything into my new web hosting provider, Wix, and I'm moving all my email into Wix. So everything will be all tightly compacted. And we're going to be running events, all kinds of stuff. And as I said here, we've gotten all kinds of great videos here in the last week. I'm really shocked considering the lack of views that this channel's been getting over the years because it's been kind of honestly in decline. I'm gonna shut myself up here. No, shut up. So, anyways, you can see here we've got 284, 335, very small still, but YouTube's recognizing what we're talking about. The last two videos I posted today on this, 3 million pounds. This is crazy at Quadrature and C++. I mean, if you got it, do it, go for it, learn it, master it. We will be covering those topics in the higher end of my membership. I won't talk about them here, but glad you're here. And the other thing is, make sure you subscribe, like, and more importantly, I keep saying this, comment away what you want to see. More and more stuff like this. When you see $3 million pay packages on average, that's insane. I've never seen it that high, but there's probably very few companies that offer that. I've walked you through what they're most likely going to look for. Do you have what it takes? If so, go for it. And if not, you can work on it. Hopefully you can get to the point where you can be naturally gifted to get to these points, but you have to show, as I said, be a self-starter and be a master at all these technologies and experience things that you need to know. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.